I was I was standing at my window, just watching the sirens. The light was bouncing off the yellow house across the street, and I remember thinking how quiet she was. This woman we'd all spent years, well, we'd spent years making her the punchline of every local joke. But then I saw her hands. They were covered in blood, but she wasn't shaking. She was perfectly steady. And in that second, I realized that everything I'd told myself about who she was, everything we all said about her, was just wrong. It started long before that night, though, back when she was just the woman in the busted porch house that everyone told their kids to avoid. I found this story on r/stories earlier, posted by a user named NoBlackberry2197. It's about a woman they used to call the crazy crack lady until they saw something they couldn't forget. I don't really know why I'm posting this. I guess it's been sitting in my head for a long time, and I never said it out loud. There was a woman on my street everyone called the crazy crack lady. Yellow house, busted porch, smelled weird all the time. She'd yell at nothing, laugh randomly, sometimes cry in the street. You know the type people warn their kids about. I crossed the street when I saw her. I laughed nervously with friends about her. I definitely judged her. One night, I saw her barefoot in the road, screaming at the sky. Like full-on begging, yelling for something to be given back to her. Then she dropped to her knees and started crying in a way that didn't sound fake or dramatic, just broken. I went inside and told myself it wasn't my problem. A few weeks later, there were sirens right outside my house. Not the normal distant ones, the loud, right there kind. A woman had collapsed, bleeding badly, and everyone was panicking. And the person helping her the most? The crazy crack lady. She was calm, like weirdly calm, pressing towels to the woman's head, talking to her quietly, telling her to stay awake and not drift. I remember thinking she sounded like someone who knew exactly what it felt like to lose control. When ambulance arrived, the injured woman grabbed her hand and said, "You've saved my life." I watched the crack lady's face when she heard that. It was like she didn't know what to do with it, like no one had ever said something like that to her before. After that, I couldn't unsee it. She didn't magically get better. She still yelled sometimes, still scared people, still struggled. But now I noticed other things, like how she watched the street at night, or how careful her hands were when she handled anything fragile. One morning, I left a bottle of water on her porch. Didn't knock, just left it. It was gone the next day. She never thanked me, but once she nodded at me when I walked by. Just once. I don't call her the crazy crack lady anymore. I call her the woman who made me realize how easy it is to turn someone into a joke instead of a person, until they do something that forces you to actually see them. I don't really know what the point of this is. I guess, be careful who you decide isn't. Moving on to a post from r/advice. This one was shared by Medium Highlight 783. They're asking, how do I broach this subject with my boyfriend? It's a situation a lot of people might find themselves in, but they weren't quite sure how to start the conversation. My boyfriend and I have been dating for right about 9 months. We are crazy about each other, to the point we've discussed moving in together. For context, we met on Tinder, hooked up, and honestly, love blossomed from there. He is a lawyer, tall, fit, handsome, nerdy, very well-groomed, and clean. He always has nice clothes on, nice cologne, nice clean shoes. His armpits smell like bergamot, and his breath is always bearable. His vehicle is immaculate. Inside, outside, not a single speck of dirt. This entire man has not a single hair out of place. Even his friends and colleagues are nice and put together. We live 3 hours apart, and he has always driven to see me. The few times that I've driven to go see him, he wants to stay in nice hotels, Airbnbs, etc. This weekend, he invited me to come to his house. I've not pushed, but this weekend I did ask, "Hey, why don't I come up to see you?" He says, "Okay, let's stay at my house." Okay, cool. He told me in the past he has roommates, which I didn't care. I also have roommates. But that is it. I stepped foot into this man's house about an hour ago, and it is repulsive. It's old, dilapidated. The floors are caked with years of dirt, so much dog hair with no dogs in sight. It looks like a hoarder house right after all the trash has been scooped out. Just dirty. Cobwebs, trash on the ground. I haven't spotted any bugs or roommates yet, but there is still time. He had dust on his bed, on the back of the toilet. Trash piled up to the high heavens. The kitchen was closed off due to piles of garbage. His room was so bad. I am shocked. He has not mentioned it, not a word. No, sorry it's a mess, nothing. I am shocked to say the least. I don't want to be rude and disrespectful, but I cannot move in with this man. I don't know how to tell him this. I am by no means perfect, but my God, I have never in my life seen anything like this. What do I do? How do I approach this with kindness and not judgment? Help, 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 help. Thank you. One user, Titan9999, says, easy enough. Bro, you're always so well put together. Why the F is your place such an ungodly fucking dump? The OP, medium highlight 783, replies, I guess I could say it like that. Someone named Oh Reddit My Reddit writes, honestly, I'm kind of impressed he's able to have his clothes crisply ironed and out together when he's storing them in that dump. Another comment from SpareShirt24 reads, I was expecting that the hotels were because he was married. I'm glad it's not that, but... To which Cerulean Fuge replies, he still might be married, and this flophouse has become his new sex pad. Maybe credit card bills were getting too high and getting noticed. And finally, prestigious_eb_9987 says, there is no way to approach a piggy situation with kindness and no judgment. This place is disgusting, and I am not moving in with you. Let the chips fall on the floor and never be picked up. Moving over to r/stories. We have a post from a user named Harvey_Spectre. The title is, I found out she was cheating because she started being too nice. It's a bit of an unsettling realization to have about someone you're close to. I, 24M, was dating a girl, 24F, for the past 4 years, so it all started in December, before Christmas, last year. Here's the thing. Lately, there was some distance between us, but a week later, her behavior completely changed. Random compliments, over-explaining where she had been, holding her phone like it contained state secrets. I didn't confront her. I didn't cry. I just paid attention. A week later, I borrowed her laptop to print something. She'd left her messages logged in. I didn't read everything, just enough to know I wasn't crazy. There was someone else. Same promises, same jokes she used on me. Here's the part people expect me to do something or expose her online. I didn't. Instead, I became the best boyfriend she'd ever had. I cooked. I listened. I remembered details. I showed up early. I was patient in arguments. I supported her confusing feelings. I made her feel safe enough to stop hiding. 3 weeks later, she sat me down, crying, and confessed everything. Told me how guilty she felt. Told me I deserved better. Told me she was ready to do the work if I'd forgive her. I listened, I nodded, I let her finish. Then I told her I'd known for almost a month. The look on her face wasn't fear or anger. It was big, like she saw a ghost or something. I didn't yell, I didn't insult her. I just said, I wanted to be absolutely sure this wasn't a mistake before I stopped loving you. I packed my things that night, blocked her the next morning. No speeches, no ultimatums, no second chances. It's strange, isn't it? How much of a person is hidden just beneath the surface. Whether it's someone we've judged from a distance, or someone we thought we knew perfectly. There's usually a lot more to the story than what we see at first glance. From the hidden heroism in a neighbor we ignored, to the confusing double lives people lead behind closed doors. These stories really make you wonder about the people in your own life. Have you ever had a moment where someone completely shattered your first impression of them? Or maybe you've walked into a situation that was the polar opposite of what you expected. If these stories gave you something to think about, feel free to leave a comment or subscribe to hear more. It helps a lot, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on these. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Until next time.